TIMA USA provides free clinics for Thai community in Puente. Poor safety measures cause MRT workers to suffer from decompression sickness. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. TIMA members at its U.S. headquarters started to provide free clinics to the monks and the volunteers of a Thai community in Puente in 2017. They first provided dental services, and then they found out ophthalmology was also needed, so it has also become a regular service.
Oral hygiene is vital to one's physical condition. Tzuchi's TIMA hosts irregular free clinics at the Thai community in Puente.
So many monks here, they never see dentists before in their life. And now they can see the dentist, and the dentist help them, even teach them how to brush their teeth the way supposed to be, and how to floss their teeth, and even treat them with all the medication or something to help them have a healthy teeth. Now they can eat and they can smile.
Po Han, who came to the United States from Thailand, started the free clinics in early 2017.
And since we find out that they have limited access to the health care, I go back and then talk to some of the senior volunteers at Tzu. They suggest me that maybe we can offer something. We start with dental.
It's very useful for benefit for organization.
It's really useful for the organization to hold free clinics for the monks and the volunteers here, so we can be healthy and serve the Buddhism and the public.
Take care of
The DaAi ophthalmology van also joined the service.
A lot of people here, like today, they cannot see because they have problems. They see double, they see any shadow behind or something. Now, since today they have the treatment, they say, oh my God, now I don't have to fall off the step anymore because I can see how many steps in front of me.
TIMA around the world continue their missions voluntarily whenever they see their skills are needed.
European city volunteers have been spreading love and compassion in Serbian refugee camps for the past 2 years. Many of the elders and the children in these camps have now formed a bonding with these volunteers. Serbian and Bosnian volunteers provide bread and tea every day to refugees. One individual is even Asian, as she was glad to see volunteers who understood her predicament.
At the foot of the bridge, an Asian woman appears. She is Mrs. Wu, who is 61 years old and is single and finds herself in this refugee camp. Volunteers showed concern for her and visited her residence, which is a small room full of miscellaneous items such as clothes discarded by others. She washed them and hopes to resell these clothes. Also, she has recovered food discarded by others and she hopes to eat it.
Elder sister, please be careful about what you eat. What type of food is this?
After being in this refugee camp for half a year, this is the first time that Mrs. Wu has encountered someone who speaks her own language. These refugees mill about as Serbian and Bosnian volunteers provide tea and bread to them. Over the past 2 years, the atmosphere at this camp has warmed considerably. Tzu volunteers are also sharing the wisdom of Jingsa aphorisms.
Laughter, power comes from this purity.
Chile Tzu volunteers came to the elderly center to care for the seniors. In addition to guiding them to create some artwork, the volunteers also invited the seniors to dance together, making them feel young again.
As if returning to elementary school, the seniors are happily making the artwork with creativity. The happy rhythm of the most popular salsa dance motivates the elderly people to dance together.
I am so happy because I haven't danced for many years. Today I dance salsa. Thank you, Ziji, for leaving me good memories.
I also want to thank everyone. I felt very happy dancing today, and I'm happy to share my happiness with everyone.
Amongst the community volunteers who came to care for the seniors is a young volunteer who has participated in this event for 7 times.
I feel very proud being able to take part in Tzu activities because they teach me to help people in need.
I feel very happy to join today's activity. I feel fortunate and happy. After experiencing the joy of serving people in need, the volunteers all feel very fortunate and want to share the happiness with more people.
In Taiwan, Tzu recently held different activities in Hualien. On this month's distribution day at the鳳林志Hall, a Tzu care recipient donated his field coin bank to help other less fortunate people. Meanwhile, at Jianqing Elementary School in Wanrong Township, children learn to make environmentally friendly toys with the guidance of Tzu volunteers.
Everyone at the Jianqing Elementary School in Hualien's Wanrong Township has a lot of fun playing with the crackers that are made of paper.
It's safer than firecrackers. Normal firecrackers are more dangerous. I think it's pretty good because we can also play with children at home.
Besides using discarded paper to make crackers, Tzu volunteers also create 3 different environmentally friendly toys.
When I peel off this part, it's like a flower, so I named it Flower Chan.
In the process of studying creative science toys, the biggest feature is that it helps develop one's independent thinking and creativity. People can also do their part to protect the environment while playing this science toy. On Tzu's distribution day in Hualien's鳳林Township, a drama has been performed to demonstrate the origin of Tzu's charity mission. Among the participants is a Tzu care recipient who has donated his field coin bank for 3 consecutive years.
I just want to give back and help other less fortunate people. There are people who need more help than me.
We can see that he has turned from a receiver to a giver. He makes a good vow when he goes out every day. In addition to blessing himself, he also wishes all the people can live peacefully.
The monthly Won reunion at the鳳林志Hall helps inspire more people's compassion and plant seeds of love in the community.
In New Taipei City, Tzu's class achievement presentation in Luzhou has been held. Some of the students demonstrated the yoga they learned with their family, while others have found their passion in the Chinese calligraphy and painting class. Guzhen, saxophone and dances are performed at Tzu's class achievement presentation in Luzhou. Chen Zhiyi has been learning yoga for 7 to 8 years, and the lesson has made his family more harmonious.
I cannot describe my joy in words. Ever since I brought my family, including my son, to join the class, we often discuss what we learned in the class. We even practice the moves that the teacher taught us at home. Therefore, our family has become more harmonious.
Other classes include tea ceremony, flower arrangement, and the art of drying plants. Among the students, 75-year-old Tu Yuefeng has found her passion in the Chinese calligraphy and painting class.
I often want to finish my house chores quickly so I can go paint. After I finish a painting, I feel a sense of achievement.
She started this new lesson after she turned 70 years old. She did not know she has such learning abilities. She kept moving forward as if she is attracted by some force.
These lessons have enriched the lives of the participants, making their lives more meaningful. Years ago, a compressed air method of tunneling was used by the MRT, which left a number of workers suffering long-term health effects. Engineering experts explain that this method is quite common, as it prevents groundwater from leaking during tunnel excavation. However, there's a need for workers to decompress after such work. One worker on this project told reporters that engineering companies failed to warn them about proper safety.
I once told my son that his father worked on the MRT and built this section.
Showing his employee ID from 20 years ago with the number 002, Su Senqing is quite proud. He was employed on the MRT 221 contract, and the first employee ID was given to a Japanese worker, so he's the first Taiwanese employee. Even sitting in this simple manner is hard for him, as his former MRT employee almost wants to cry when doing such a simple action.
When I'm sleeping like this and my arm is above my head for more than 10 minutes, I need to use my other arm to bring my hand down.
The 221 contract project is known as Taiwan's first compressed air tunneling project. Mr. Xu was a leader of a group of 3 people. In the original tunnel, working for 4 hours would require 90 minutes of decompression, but nobody warned them that some people would leave the tunnel after 15 minutes.
We only had general safety instructions such as you can't smoke inside because of the high pressure, and you can't work after drinking alcohol. Also, if you have a cold, you can't work.
At that time, no one had ever heard of any compressed air construction methods, let alone understand that the pressurized tunnels were to prevent the groundwater from seeping in. Actually, there's no difference between those working in tunnels and those under the sea.
Regardless if it is under the sea or the river or because of groundwater, our compressed air method is meant to provide a construction space, a suitable environment to work.
Experts pointed out that Taipei has a high urban density and a short distance between MRT stations, along with tight schedules. This means excavators are frequently used, but cost considerations in the past led to compressed air construction methods. Because of its infrequent use, many are likely to ignore safety issues.
With the exception of some professional companies, most don't have compressed air equipment, so I believe the workers operating under these conditions probably don't have enough safety training.
Today, there are still a few companies that meet such standards. Su Senqing has sacrificed his health for money, as all 5 people in his family depend upon him. He received about $20 a day for work on the Ankang Tunnel, but switching to the MRT, he was guaranteed $90 a day, and finally bought an apartment in Taipei.
Really, it is very complicated because of how you said it. My children are growing up. Do I believe in fate? Maybe it is my fate.
While he finds it hard to admit the fate that he has been given, he still remains proud about his work on the MRT. In fact, many people should thank those who gave their life and their health to construct the MRT system that we all rely upon now.
After learning about the fate of these MRT workers, many people better understand the difficulty that some laborers encounter just to earn money. Many believe that if they fall sick due to work injury, they can first seek compensation from employer. The second action is to apply for loss of work from the government. Here is our report.
With the economic development of the country, many people now need to support their family.
You have to invest cost and you need materials and technology and machines. Are your workers part of this cost?
Yingzi used to work like everyone else. 11 years ago, he would work 15 hours a day as a salesman until he fell.
After a few hours of sleep, maybe 4 hours, I would get up and go to work when the sun rose.
He suffered an aortic dissection and a stroke in his right brain, which left him paralyzed on the left half of the body. After 10 years of rehabilitation, he can barely take a few steps. However, he was shocked by the attitude of his company.
Actually, the reply from the Bureau of Labor Insurance said that there wasn't time card system implemented by my company. Actually, for all these state companies, they make this kind of excuse to my situation.
Occupational injuries typically fall into one of two categories. One is trauma caused by equipment or facilities. Occupational diseases like that which was suffered by Mr. Guo or something related to overwork may be difficult to confirm if the employer does not cooperate with the investigation. Proving this causal relationship is hard, with data potentially providing some clues.
The approval rate of cases associated with occupational injury is about 92%, and for occupational diseases, the approval rate is about 50%.
At present, occupational hazard insurance is linked to labor insurance regulations and is tied with labor insurance. Labor groups recommend the two need to be separated, as occupational injury should be handled more professionally. In the past few years, a Labor Occupational Accident Insurance Act has been proposed, but has been stuck in the executive yuan.
Job injuries are not just an insurance payments only. The prevention of injury is needed. Afterwards, if you just pay them for a period of rehabilitation, some of them might regain their health, then come back to work. Some of them are not able to.
The Ministry of Labor explained the draft of the Labor Occupational Accident Insurance Act includes compensation for injuries, prevention of occupational injury, and rehabilitation. There are 3 components to this act will be completed. Therefore, labor groups hope that the approved standards for occupational diseases will be relaxed, with current occupational insurance coverage being raised to 5%.
Because the rate is very low, this shows that the current Bureau of Labor Insurance is being very critical of claims and is not awarding many of them.
In short, the Labor Bureau hopes to increase the premiums paid by employers and allow workers to receive more compensation. The occupational injury rate currently pegged in labor insurance is only 0.22%. This means for a new worker, at most they can receive is about $140 a month of disability annuity.
Such a monthly annuity of $140 a month for an employee with moderate or severe occupational stress is a joke. Some say it is no help at all, only allowing a person enough money to buy diapers.
Can $140 really help a disabled person? In the past, labor was hurt because of work. In addition to applying for compensation from the government, they would seek money from employers. If they weren't satisfied, it would end up in a lawsuit.
All employers use their staff to beg money. The work that you want won't happen without these laborers. We don't want injuries to happen, but you are legally liable for a large sum of money, so you should do your best to minimize the risk of injury.
If occupational disaster insurance becomes independent, will this better help workers? So far, the effect has yet to be tested, though a draft is still being debated by the government. At the moment, the debate over rates shows there is still quite a big gap between employers and laborers, as well as the government.
A 68-year-old farmer in Hsinchu has been putting camphor oil on his skin as mosquito repellent for a long time. However, it has caused allergic reactions, leading him to be sent to the hospital twice.
Mr. Wu works in an orchard and he has a habit of putting camphor oil on his skin to avoid mosquito bites. However, he recently experienced severe eczema.
He spread it all over his body. He would put the camphor oil on a towel and wipe it all over, which has possibly induced some immune responses after his body absorbed it.
Mr. Wu told doctors that he has experienced an acute kidney failure with pneumonia. The doctor has found out that both times were caused by allergic reactions due to camphor oil. The main purpose of camphor oil is to get rid of bugs, hence it's often sprayed around the corners in the house. It's also often an ingredient in many external ointments because of its cooling and soothing. If you mistakenly drink concentrated camphor oil, it can lead to poisonous symptoms. If you put it on your skin for a long period of time, it can cause proteinuria or kidney and liver injuries.
You should choose ointments that are specifically for skin and avoid those for the home or other environments. If you find a large bottle of camphor oil in the store, it's mostly a pesticide.
The pharmacist suggests reading the label and descriptions on the bottle carefully.
People who have a history of favism must definitely avoid camphor oil because it will lead to serious hemolysis.
Patients with chronic kidney disease need to be careful as well, as camphor oil can damage your body if misused.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Nangang plan to hold a stem cell donation drive on March 25th. Before the event, students from Tzu Chi's parent and child class and volunteers went to Nangang train station to perform African drum and invite people to support the stem cell donation drive. At the crowded Nangang train station, a group of people suddenly shows up. As they perform African drum, it is hard not to notice them. They're in fact looking for lifesavers.
We are looking for people and letting them know that we have this activity. We hope they will come to Nangang for the stem cell donation drive next Sunday.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Nangang holding a stem cell donation drive on the coming Sunday, and they need everyone's support.
When people need our blood, do not back off. Saving a child means you've saved the entire family.
I've encouraged my daughter to donate her hair. If I qualify as a donor, why shouldn't I join such a meaningful event?
As more than 100 Tzu Chi volunteers, parents and children advertise the upcoming stem cell donation drive at Nangang train station. They hope they'll be able to give patients a second chance at life. Tzu Chi Chicago chapter is holding a charity concert on March 25th. Therefore, the onstage volunteers have been practicing diligently for the sutra adaptation. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.